Does Japan have an old legal document similar to the Magna Carta? In 1232, the Kamakura Shogunate, Japan's first military government, issued a document called the Joei Shikimoku, or the Joei Code in English. I explained in part 1 why it's compared to the Magna Carta. It covers a lot of the same topics, and it's also a setting of boundaries between royalty and the rest of the country. In part 2, I began explaining why the shogunate felt the need to issue the document even though they'd been in power for over 45 years. It's because the imperial government wanted their power back, and the shogunate wanted to make a statement. As I mentioned before, Yoritomo didn't think much of the shogun title when he was awarded it in 1192. Both of Yoritomo's sons would hold the shogun title, while his wife's family would manage the domain. But Yoritomo died in 1199, and by 1219, both of his sons were dead, both victims of assassination. With no Minamoto available to assume the shogun role, the imperial court, particularly retired Emperor Go-Toba, pushed to regain their power. Go-Toba's argument was that, without a shogun, there was no need for an administration. Hojo Masako, the widow of Yoritomo, tried to create a marriage link between the Hojo and the imperial line. By 1221, however, Go-Toba decided to start a rebellion. As rebellions go, it was idiotic. The Hojo had much greater numbers and more recent fighting experience. The event, known in Japanese history as both the Jokyu Disturbance and the Jokyu War, was a series of battles near Kyoto that lasted only 6 weeks. The victory allowed the Hojo to strengthen their position. A new shogun will be picked in 1226, but the Hojo maintained their control under the title of Shikken, or regent to the shogun. At the same time, 13 senior Hojo counselors began the process of drafting a set of rules regarding the adjudication of land ownership, crime, and other things. This process sent a message to the imperial court about who was in charge. These rules became the initial Joei Code. The shogunate also set up a separate headquarters in Kyoto to keep a close eye on the imperial court. The Hojo's grip on power lasted until the mid-14th century, before being replaced by a different military government. The Joei Code's influence lasted, at least in some form, until the 19th century. Thank you very much for watching.